counting one name, I will say he wanted to count one name. He decided to count his children. He's talking about the progeny of Abraham. So why he did not mention Ishmael? There is no reason. But the fact, because Muhammad himself was confused about what to say about Ishmael. All the prophets are from the Jews. And this verse proves it. From Abraham, there is the seeds of Abraham who will be prophets, and from their seed there will be prophets too. He named two names only. If we go to different verse, we will see the following. Chapter 19, verse number 54. If we go to this chapter, it says that Ismail is a prophet, is a messenger of Allah. Actually, not a prophet, a messenger. He used to order his people to do, to do the prayer and to pay zakat. Let us ask in here a very simple question. Why Allah in sending all those prophets in the same time? Like, look, we have Ishmael is a prophet in Islam. We have Isaac is a prophet in Islam. We have Jacob is a prophet of Islam. And we have Abraham is a prophet in Islam. Like four prophets in the same time. And all of this for Mecca. Because remember, the Muslims, they say this is for Mecca. They live in Mecca. Four prophets when Mecca was empty. To tell me there's four prophets, that it should be about like there's a huge nations or millions of people you want to teach them. And you want to send prophets, to speak to those people. But four prophets in the same time, and today we don't have any prophet. Like the stories of Allah is the same as somebody is bald, but his beard is so growing so big, so long. He don't have good, let's say control of the hair, where it's going to grow. Somewhere it's growing too much, somewhere it's bald. Four prophets in one place, not a city. I wish, the Muslim, they say to you that the one, even the one who started Mecca, they say it was Abraham, which is false, because I showed you from the proven here that actually the story what they say that there is the tribe, it's called Jurham. They when they were traveling close to Mecca, they saw a bird flying in the sky. And they were wondering this bird, because this bird, he only get close to the water, and they knew this area don't have water. So they sent somebody to check it out, and when they went there, they found Hajar, the father of Ishmael, and Ishmael next to the water. And she told them, I can let you stay with us, but you have no right over the water. Which is a very funny story, because a tribe, who in the world at that time will listen to a woman, she have a child with her, he's 14 years old. They will kill her and take the whole spring of water. At that time, people go for war, for any kind of water. So a woman, she is controlling them and telling them, you have no right, this water is under my control. Who will believe in this story? So the whole tribe moved there, and they taught Ishmael how to speak Arabic. And later, supposedly, he did marry from them. Now, as long the only one was in Mecca, it was those people and the wife of Abraham, or the slave of Abraham, Hajar. Why four prophets in the same time? And why Hajar was alone? Why Abraham was not there? If Abraham is the one who built the Kaaba, does that mean that Ishmael and his mother, they came first, and then Abraham, he followed them? Why? What the point of letting your wife go, or and then you follow him? It doesn't make sense. And where to go to where? Imagine, guys, Abraham was supposedly living in Iraq. Why anyone in this earth want to move from a place which have two big rivers, hundreds of thousands of palm tree around him, and this person he lived by animals, which means the way of living for Abraham is his sheep and goats and whatever. So why anyone want to move to Mecca? It's like, saying to me, uh, uh, leave Hawaii and go to Saudi Arabia. This is really stupid. To do what? What will make a man do such a thing? And where Allah He said to Abraham do that? It doesn't even say that in the Quran. So all those stories is made up stories made by the Muslims. So now we have many prophets in little village. All of them, they are teaching people about Allah. And the funny, all of them, they are prophets, but none of them, his books is exist and his teaching is exist. None of them. According to Islam, Allah He sent 124,000 prophets. All of them, their books is gone, except Muhammad, which is very funny and very, very weird. But because Muhammad, he cannot prove himself in any of those books, he have to deny them all, says they are corrupted. Because none of those who he speak about them as a prophet recognize him as a prophet. So the liar, he have to say, oh, the document is changed and my book is there. And right now the Muslim, they say to you, oh, we found the name of Muhammad in the Old Testament, when the Quran says that the name of Muhammad is going to appear in the New Testament, because the Quran says the following. In chapter 61 verse number 6, it says that Isa, which is supposedly the Muslim Christ, which is funny, he's saying, remember Jesus the son of Mary said. So who said that? Jesus the son of Mary. What he said, O children of Israel, I am apostle of Allah, sent to you, confirming the law which come before me, and giving the glad tidings of a messenger to come after me, whose name shall be Ahmad. Okay, let us stop in here. We saw many videos of this idiot who do not, I wish he was still alive to debate me, but too bad he died before I get him. He was telling that he found the name of Muhammad in the New Testament, in the Song of Songs exactly, in chapter 5 verse 16 supposedly, as I remember. So, but if this is true, if this what he's saying is true, it means the Quran is corrupted, because the name should appear there is not even Muhammad, it's Ahmad. This is number one. Number two, the one who should say that is Jesus, not Sulaiman. Because the first one ever who mentioned the name of Muhammad in the previous scriptures, it was supposedly Jesus the son of Mary. Therefore Sulaiman never mentioned it, Moses never mentioned it, Ezekiel never mentioned it, Jacob never mentioned it. No one, except this is what the Quran is saying, unless the Muslim, they want to accuse their God to be a liar. So this is how desperate the Muslims trying to find the name of Muhammad in where it's not even exist, which is in the Old Testament. And we knew that that verse there is speaking about have nothing to do with Muhammad, and they will come to you and they says that the Bible speak about a prophet will come between among you, from your brethren. A prophet will be like Moses in the Old Testament. But is Muhammad from the Jews? From your brothers. Is Muhammad is from the brothers of Moses? Is Muhammad from the family of Moses? Is Muhammad from the descendant of Moses? What those Muslims are talking about. But because they are desperate, and this is why they needed Ishmael. This is why they needed Jesus actually. Muhammad, he cannot be a prophet if he don't speak about Jesus. Muhammad, he cannot be a prophet unless he speak about Moses, because he's a false man. So he have to grab the big names, the same as those scammer. The spam. Like you get emails about selling shoes and watches. All of them are fake, made in China, made in whatever it is, and they try to sell it as if it is a real brand. So Muhammad, he have to sell himself, and to sell himself, he have to use a good names. And this is why he needed Mary, he needed Joseph, he needed Moses, Abraham, all those names, because without them he cannot be anything. In the same time, in the whole Quran, Muhammad, he forgot to put the name of Ishmael to be connected with him. He forgot to say, you know what? Allah, he said, I am from Ishmael. And why Ishmael did not mention that from his seeds is going to be a prophet? Because all what the Quran says that Ishmael himself is a messenger of Allah. In any way, it's very clear that Ishmael is needed badly by Muhammad to make himself a legitimate man. But the fact what make you legitimate is not what even people say. Because let us say there is a prophet will come after me. His name is Ahmad. Let us say I'm a prophet. I'm not claiming to be a prophet. Don't take me wrong. And then I say there's a guy after me will come. His name is Ahmad. Now, as long Muhammad actually his names are not even Muhammad or Ahmad. Muhammad even he chooses names. None of those are his names. The real name of Muhammad is Qasim. He changed his name and he called himself many names, Ahmad, Muhammad, and Mustafa, etc. Because simply Muhammad he was trying to replace Christ by himself. This evil man, he is trying to be the Christ in this earth, to be a rule the same way as the Jewish wanted the Christ to be. Someone he fight, he kill, destroy, a king, a ruler, a destroyer. But the Jewish, they were disappointed of Jesus because he was a peaceful person. So Muhammad was trying to replace Jesus by himself. This is why he changed his name. And actually, you can go right now and search for the name of Qasim, the name of Muhammad, and you will find it right away. Let us show our reference. This is the book of Al-Kamil fi Tarikh, and again, this is the biggest library of Islamic books in the net, Islam web. So this is not a Christian books or Christian website. Here we go. Al-Kamil fi Tarikh, the bloodline of the Prophet and the name of some of his fathers and grandfathers. Very number 1. Let us go down. You will see the following. And the name of the Prophet or the Messenger of Allah, Muhammad. And we mentioned before his birth. And during the time of the king of the Persian, Kisra. And he is Muhammad, the son of Abdullah. And he used to be called Abdullah Abu Qasim. Who is the one used to be called the father of Qasim? Abdullah, the father of Muhammad. So he called his son what? Qasim. And then and they said Aba Muhammad, the father of Muhammad. So he was called the same two names, and he was called Aba Qasim. But the fact Muhammad, he never called himself, never been called Muhammad. This is a name the people they were calling Muhammad father that name after Muhammad he announced himself as a prophet and he named himself as Muhammad and Ahmad. All the time the father of Muhammad was called Abdullah Aba Qasim, the father of Qasim, and this is the real name of Muhammad. And here we go, in Islam Online, they published this, that according to Dr. Hisham Ja'it, and he is a Tunisian doctor, he's a Muslim. In his book, it's called The History of the Dawah, the Muhammadan Dawah of Mecca. He said that Muhammad was born in the year 580, and his name was always Qasim, till he announced himself to be a prophet. And he did marry at the age of 23, and he became a prophet at the age of 30, and he never been an illiterate person. And you can go and search for the book, and you can buy it right, by yourself from the internet. And again, let me see if I can get